Welcome back. This is Aquarium Hacks by Marcus. So today I'm just going to be talking about what does it take to set up a fish tank? What do you truly need in order to have a somewhat successful fish tank? Do you need expensive filters, UV sterilizers? Do you need expensive LED lights? Do you need plants growing out the top of your filters? Do you need expensive decorations, expensive fish? Do you need a lot of sand, plants, rocks? And by the way, those here are those rocks that I was talking about earlier. My fake rocks that I epoxy. They've been in there for about 2 weeks now. No ill effects, and the rocks are doing just fine. But what do you truly need in order to set up a fish tank? Do you need, such as in this little 8-gallon tank here? Do you need lots of live plants, specialized gravel, LED planet light? Do you need a CO2 system on it? What do you truly need in order to have a successful aquarium? And by the way, that is Pebbles the Beta. There he is. Say hello, Pebbles. Hopefully y'all can see him there on camera. And so what do you truly need in order to have a successful fish tank? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to get the camera slightly back on me, and we're just going to have a little talk. Hopefully the video don't be too long, and hopefully I got that on camera. This is a new phone. I think this is a great phone. It seems like it does the colors a lot better, so hopefully my videos come out to being a little bit better. The Motorola Razr is what I got. Pretty wonderful phone. So what does it take? Well, in order to set up a simple fish tank, you have to go to there's different scenarios, because we're talking about cold water, tropical water, single fish. So there's different scenarios setting up a fish tank, but simple fish tanks. But I'm going to just talk about some of the ways that I have set up very simple fish tanks in times past, and just a little bit of why I keep this more complicated stuff on my fish tanks now. Well, one of my simplest fish tanks was a goldfish tank. Now, if you're getting a regular sized goldfish, trust and believe, they really one fish really needs close to about 30 gallons a tank. A goldfish can grow up to a foot or more in size. A lot of people don't realize that about goldfish. Can you successfully keep a goldfish in a 10-gallon tank? You can. I've seen it happen. I've seen people keep 2 or 3 goldfish in a 10-gallon tank. But the question is, what kind of life are those fish living? Are they miserable? Then do they usually live? Well, goldfish can live 15, 20 years or more. Will they live that long in a 10-gallon tank? No, they will not. So if you want a better quality of fish, please put your goldfish in a bigger tank. But the goldfish that I'm talking about are fancy twin-tail goldfish, which are smaller than your regular sized goldfish. So that's what I had in a 40-gallon breeder. I had 4 fancy tail, those little round body goldfish in there. And this is what I had in the tank. I painted the background black, which I didn't have to be successful. I had 2 medium sponge filters. I had some glass laying around that I put on the top, and I put a LED Walmart shop light on top of it, and had an air pump and water dechlorinator, some pool filter sand, which I didn't have to have it, and I threw some rabbit snails in there. No plants, and salted it a little bit, and that was it. And I kept those fish for a very long time, very successfully. Had very minimum problems out of it. Was the tank super clear? No, it was not super clear. The tank was, of course, a little bit dirty. Goldfish poop a lot. I had to do extra water changes and stuff like that. But did I keep the tank successfully? Yes, I did. Bacteria grew well. The fish ate well. They were healthy. They were fine. Very simple. No heater. Of course, goldfish don't need a heater, but no heater. So 2 sponge filters, medium sponge filter, 40-gallon breeder, some glass on top, Walmart shop light, and I put it on a brick stand, and that was it. Simple. Another simple tank that I set up some time ago was a little 10-gallon tropical tank. I put some hardy little guppies in there. I think they were the little wild guppies. Had some little hardy wild guppies, and the wild guppy type. I threw some fake plants in it. Threw a little sand on the bottom. Painted the background black. Threw a cheap light on top, the light that came with the tank. Had a little power filter, a little cheap heater. Don't suggest that you get a cheap heater, but that's what I had. And had a little power filter on the back. I threw an air pump on, I think, on it for extra oxygen. And the fish bred and did just fine. Another simple tank that I had set up. Had I think it was a 2-gallon little cube-like tank. Had an undergravel filter on it, a little sorry light that came with it. Hooked up the air pump on it. Had to put a betta in it. Kept the betta upstairs where the temperature was around probably between 68 and 76 degrees, give or take. And never even threw a heater in that one. Probably should have. The betta would have probably did better with a heater. But I kept the betta for so long. He was over 3 years old. I got tired of him, and I finally traded him off. Finally gave him to somebody, and that's what I did with him. I kept the fish successfully in the tank. Kept them alive. Kept them fine. So what I'm saying is you need very little in order to, shall I say, be somewhat successful in fish keeping. Now, if you're going to go overcrowding your tanks and getting all this kind of special stuff in your aquariums, and you're starting to get going to get into live plants, you want to get into discus, you want to get into angelfish, you want to get into a certain kind of cichlids or super community tank, yes, you will probably need to then start upgrading your filtration. You will probably start needing then to add in LED lights for the plants and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's when your costs starting to begin to rise. Now, could I keep this tank successfully without the canisters and the hang on the backs? I believe I could. I believe I could get some double large sponges in each corner. So that's double sponges on top, two sponges on top on each corner. Add an extra air pump, some light, and I believe that I could actually keep these fish with that. Now, would I have to do more water changes, and would my water be as clear? Yes, I would have to do that. I would have to do more water changes, and my water would not be as clear. And it would not be really as what I would consider a show tank. But could I successfully do it with just sponge filters? As an experienced aquarist as I am, I know I could do it with just sponge filters. I'm not going to, because I love my setup and the ease of taking care of that it is. But I could do that. So, sometimes with simple filtration, you have to sometimes, like you got some of these breeders, that's all they use is sponge filters. But they are experienced aquarists. They know when to do their water changes. They know how to monitor their fish. And they can keep expensive fish like this inside their tanks. And so when you wanted to get into a more better looking tank, a show tank, or things of that nature, that's when you need to start to upgrade your filtration and start upgrading your lights. And so I think on my next series, I'm going to do a little series, I think. I'm going to help people, because I know some people that watch this channel are experienced aquarists. And so, but what I'm going to start doing is a little series on ones who might not know too much about fish keeping, and show them exactly how to be successful in keeping a nice, simple tank, and how to be successful in doing that. So I want to go back to some of my old roots, so to speak, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to also be hacking out some things with those with this starting up a new aquarium for those who are not as experienced as keeping fish. And so it's going to save you a lot of money, and I think it'll save you a lot of unnecessary heartache as well. And as you get advanced, you might want to get bigger tanks, better filtration and stuff like that. So I'm going to start a series like that. But I just wanted to say I'm back, and hey, keep on hacking.